Hello, viewers. How are you? I'm Erlinda, and we are here on a Zoom program for you. Rialto Network wanted to keep you updated as to what's going on. In spite of the coronavirus, we are here for you. You need to know what's going on, okay? Now, we have a program called Empowering Voices, and it is working together with Rialto Network so that we can give you some wonderful information. Today, I have a lady who is very special. Her name is Mary Welch, Mary D. Welch, in fact. And I met her on Facebook, and I was quite impressed. Quite impressed. She is a president and founder of First Book Academy. She's a wife, she's a mother of 5, a grandmother, and she's a graduate from the University of Riverside, where she received her bachelor's in sociology. I can go on and on. However, I do want you to know that she also received a Black Studies degree and her master's degree in education from Azusa Pacific University. Lady, you are amazing, and I haven't even finished.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I love what you do. Thank you so much for being a member of the community. Thank you. And thank you for being a phenomenal author. I have skimmed through your books. In fact, I have one I have to listen to. And I'm excited when it comes out, if it hasn't come out yet. Okay? Now, you're also a volunteer on the National Association of Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. You're an executive committee member and executive board member. You do a lot of wonderful things. What is your goal? What are you doing and why?
That's big.
Okay, let's start with.
Okay.
Why did you start writing?
Oh, I'll give you the short version, I guess. I started writing out, it was out of pain. I was in a lot of pain. I'd gone through 2 deaths of 2 immediate family members. My brother passed away from a brain aneurysm. 90 days later, my mother passed away from breast cancer. And I went spiraling into a depression. Sure. And through that depression is where I learned to write. I'd say learn to because it came to me. A friend of ours came over and she told me a story. But when she's talking, I said, that sounds like a children's book. And she was looking at me and said, what sounds like a children's book? I said, everything you just said, to me, in my mind, I saw a children's book. And I wrote it. About 45 minutes later, the book was written.
Wow.
I've been writing ever since.
And what is the name of that book?
Now, that book is called The Cake Shook. That's the title of that book. It hasn't come out yet. That's The Cake Shook. But I read it to one of the grandchildren. And I read it about a couple of days later, she came over and I read the story, but I never told her I wrote it. And I read it to her and she's laughing and really enjoying the story.
Oh, good.
I told her, I said, her name is Nasea. I said, Nasea, I wrote that book. She said, all of a sudden she stopped laughing. She said, Nana, you wrote that book? I said, yes. And she said, can you write a book about me?
Oh.
She wrote, and that was when I remember thinking, I was afraid to say yes. Because remember, I'd only written the one book.
Right.
I said, Nasea, I can write a book about you. And it was about 6 months later, her book was written. And it was so, for me, this has all been new to me of how were all these books in you, and they're now they're coming out. Now they're pouring out.
Right.
I just take them one at a time. Whatever one, I really say it's been God given or God driven because I just take them one step at a time, one book at a time. However, I'm unctioned to write or whatever it is, then that's what I write about.
Ah, good. Do you have any books with you?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Good.
This is the first book. This is called There's a Rocket in My Pocket. It's on Amazon. It came out last year, 2019. It was the #1 children's book on Amazon. I'm really proud of it.
Bring it a little closer so I can see it.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah. There you go. There's a rocket in my pocket. That looks so cute and interesting.
So this one is the first one. Now the book that just came out Sunday, as a matter of fact, is this one. And it's not a children's book. It's for adults.
Okay.
And it's this one. And it's Say No.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So this book is sayingnonicely.com. And they're both on Amazon. Both books are right there on Amazon. Yeah. Really proud of them because I was a yes person for a long time. And I didn't know how to say no. So because of that, that's how that book came to be.
I have to read it too.
I am sitting here. Well, are you a yes person too?
I was. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Not to be a yes person?
I used to be. So,
well, I'll tell you yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so tell me, what else are you involved with? Now, you're involved with NAACP. What exactly do we do there?
Well, the NAACP is an organization that's over 100 years old. It's one of the first civil rights organizations. So the goal is about equality. And it's not about necessary, it's predominantly for African Americans, but anyone can become a member, anyone can be involved in it. It is really a way to say to society, all it is about is equality. How do we equalize a playing field that was never equal to begin with? Right. And that's what the NAACP does. And so I volunteer with them. I've been with them for a few years, my husband and I. And we go to different functions. We're working right now with everything that's going on with COVID because it has affected the African American community at astounding
higher level.
Yes. So we're working in that, and our goal is to help people to reduce the spread of the virus in any ways that we can.
Right. So that is amazing. Now, how do we get just off the record, and we can let the people hear this, but how do we get all our groups to unite? I mean, how is that ever going to occur? I mean, Latinos have a group, African Americans have a group, and then other groups have groups as well. Wouldn't it be amazing to see some unity?
Well, we do see it if you think about it, because I'm also a retired teacher. So, and retired teachers have groups too. But those groups, for the most part, are integrated. They're not as like you said, in the division. But honestly, I think the division only exists because the groups don't feel heard or their voices heard if they are integrated groups. So they feel that they can be heard if they have united. Now their voice is louder and they can make more of an impact. Sometimes if you're in groups and you just don't feel like you're like people are paying attention to you. But if you have, let's say you have 25 people and they have the same idea, then they can go in the same direction. It can make more of an impact than you have one person with that idea and they're going in that direction. So it's just unity in numbers. I think that's what it is.
That's what it is. Okay. Well, thank you. It was just a question, not necessarily something for this program, but I wanted to ask it. And I will ask you something else, however, right now. During the coronavirus, you say that your group, NAACP, is helping people cope and giving them strategies so that they can survive this coronavirus. What are some of the tools? Because, you see on television, depression, you hear pending divorce because of being locked up together in a room or in a house. What do we do to survive this, Mary?
Well, there is a number, and I'm sorry, I don't have it with me, but if you go to the NAACP's website, and they have resources for people that you can call if you need, if you need counseling or if there's issues going on, mental health issues. There's so many things people are dealing with, even to the point they don't have meals. They can't, there's not enough food in the home.
Right.
maybe your electricity or water, whatever the case, whatever you're facing,
Absolutely, yes.
there's resources that can help you with that. Yeah. So they can help you, show you where you can go to get help with those kind of things.
Right. Right.
The population that is most at risk, and we all know this, is our seniors.
Right.
Our senior population is more at risk than any other population during this time period.
And there are a lot of programs for the seniors if they research. The problem is that a lot of our little people, our seniors, don't know where to go.
Exactly. That's true.
So perhaps the neighbor next door can give you a little card. Call this number and tell them you need food.
Right.
Right? So each one help one.
Exactly. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I know there's a 211 number as well.
Yes, there is.
There is. The 211 number gives a lot of information and can help. They really can help with resources. The FEMA program is helping a lot of folks.
Good.
Yeah. Well, tell me. Go ahead.
Oh, I said anything that helps. That's what I was saying. Anybody that needs help. And I agree with you, 211. We find people come to the website and they're just looking for resources but that's another resource. 211 is another resource.
Right. You know, because there are young mothers that need diapers. There are young mothers that need formula.
Yes. You're right.
You know,
You're right.
Because they've been laid off.
Oh, yeah.
It is unfortunate, you know. It is unfortunate. However, we'll get through this.
We have
reach
to
reach out and ask for help, correct?
Yes, I agree.
So you have come a long way. And what is your vision, your dream, your future?
Ooh, that's a lot, Erlinda.
Well,
my vision, my dream, my future. Okay, my vision. Really, right at this point in time, is I'm publishing. Before the year is out, it'll be at least 4 other books. These are all, the remainder of the year is predominantly children's books, but I do have one particular project that I'm really working on too. So just, I always have projects. I don't even know if I know how not to have projects, but really it's to help other people. If you're interested in writing and publishing a book, and I work primarily with children's books, but I mean, as you can see, I write how-to books and other books too. Yes. I do have an academy. The academy is called firstbookacademy.com. And you can go there. I have a 12-step action plan that is totally free. You can download it. I never charge for it. And it takes you through the 12 steps of writing, editing, and publishing your book. So anybody can get that.
You know what? I'm writing it down.
Okay.
12 steps.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I have a book I started long ago.
You told me.
Yeah. So I think you and I are going to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how many books have you written?
Oh my goodness. Over 20 books.
Ooh.
Yes,
wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
I know.
And how can people get a book? How can they get one of the books from Mary D. Welch, the author?
You can go to Amazon and you put in marydwelch.com. I'm sorry. Just go to Amazon and put in Mary D. Welch and my books will pop up. And right now, the 2 that'll come up. But before the year is out, there'll be many more. I promise you.
Okay. How many grandchildren do you have?
5 grandchildren.
Okay. So that's 5 books alone.
Oh, they're mostly dedicated. Many of them are dedicated to them too. In fact, they're the characters. You see the names. That's many of the grandchildren's names in the books.
Oh, wonderful! That's wonderful, extremely wonderful. And I heard you on Facebook coaching individuals a money program, talking about money, talking about how to not lose their house, how to get the paperwork done right.
Yes.
Do you like that?
You know, I a couple years ago, I was really focused on that, and it was called Write That Will. It was, but it really, the program you saw me on was called the Transfer on Death Deed, which is, what I found anyway. I learned about this about 3 or 4 years ago, that it's a one sheet, one paper where you can transfer your house while you're living. Nobody can touch it, But when you pass away, instead of getting, I don't want to say instead of, this is in lieu of. You can, in my opinion, the best thing you can have is a living trust. Let me say that. I would tell, and I can't stress that enough. I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to tell you not to get a trust.
Right.
But if you cannot afford a trust, it is just a little more than your budget can afford.
Absolutely.
You can do a transfer on death deed, which costs about $100. And it's a one sheet of paper and it has to be notarized. No one can touch the title to your property, or nobody can touch the property until you pass away. But it prevents probate. It is huge. It's called a transfer on death deed. Many people know about it now. You can go to your county, any county in all the state of California has the paperwork, or you go to the Attorney General, the paperwork. It's one sheet, but it has to be notarized. And I cannot tell you how many families I've helped just knowing that. It's called a transfer on death deed, or call it TOD. Okay. And you can go to any county and get that. And then I'd like to just add, since I have this moment on your show, many people have a wrong conception about wills. People will say, well, I'm not worried about anything. I have a will. They don't even know that if you have a will, the property, if you own property, it will still go into probate. You will still have to go before a judge to determine who gets the property. If you have a transfer on death deed, that doesn't happen. Another thing people don't know, in the state of California, you can have a holographic will. What that means is you can take a sheet of paper, write your last will and testament out, sign it and date it, and it's totally acceptable in a court of law. People don't know that. That's almost like a big secret, but that is a fact in California. And I'm not an attorney. I always have to add my
yes.
My
Well,
disclaimer.
when I heard you, I said, oh, I've got to get her to my women's ministry because, they need to know. One day I'm going to have you come and speak on that subject.
Thank you.
Now, if a person wants to hear that talk that you gave, that I heard, how would they access that? Could they access it?
The transfer of death deed?
Yeah. Access the program.
You can go to the county of any county. For instance, I live in Riverside County. You go to the county of records, their website, and you put in transfer on death deed, and it'll pop up. That one, it comes out 2 sheets of paper. Only one you have to fill out. The second sheet explains what the transfer on death deed does. And you'll find many seniors, if they own property, it's a very, good way right now to transfer if they don't want to pay for a living trust.
And that's a good deal.
Yeah, my preference is a trust, though. I'll be honest. If I would prefer, I would encourage you to get a trust. If money is a issue, then this is the second best thing. Right. I would not advise you putting someone's name on title to your property. I would never tell anyone to do anything like that.
Okay, wonderful. We came from children's books to NAACP.
I know.
To the deed issue.
Yes.
And it's amazing because you are so well-rounded. You have so much in you that is so valuable to the community. And I wish to thank you for being such a spectacular person.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me on your show. Thank you.
Yes. Well, that's what Empowering Voices is about, letting people know. And again, tell me again, where do I get your books?
You can go to Amazon and you put in Mary D. Welch and the books will pop up.
All right.
You can't miss it.
Okay. I'm totally happy to talk to you today. And I'm sure the public is happy to have talked to you today as well through my voice. So be, blessings to you and to your future. And until we meet again, okay? I'm Erlinda, and this has been your program, Empowering Voices, on behalf of Rialto Network. Thank you very much, Mary. You take care.
You do the same.
Thank you.